chronic trade deficits are no longer merely an economic problem. They're a national emergency that threatens our security and our very way of life. It's a very great threat to our country. For nations that treat us badly, we will calculate the combined rate of all their tariffs, non-monetary barriers, and other forms of cheating, but we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us.
President Trump and the White House shared a series of charts on social media showing the tariff rates they say other countries impose on the U.S. and how the U.S. will reciprocate.
Here's the formula. It looks kind of complicated, but it's actually rather simple.
The administration calculated each country's tariff rate using this formula. The tariff rate equals the U.S. trade deficit with that country divided by the U.S. imports from that country. For example, the U.S. claims that China charges a tariff of 67%. The U.S. ran a goods trade deficit of $295.4 billion with China in 2024, while imported goods were worth $438.9 billion. When you divide $295.4 billion by $438.9 billion, the result is 67%. Just like the graphic the administration posted. A White House official told reporters on April 2nd, these tariffs are customized to each country and the numbers have been calculated by the Council of Economic Advisors using very, very well-established methodologies from the international trade economic literature as well as policy practice. The model they use is based on the concept that the trade deficit that we have with any given country is the sum of all the unfair trade practices, the sum of all cheating.
A lot of trade experts, Kelly, it's gibberish. That's really the problem. And I called up these trade experts and I said, have you ever heard of this? And they said, no. Do you know anybody who's ever used this formula to determine the trade burden or onus or whatever? And everybody said no.